Hey there, future millionaires! Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rich, and I'm absolutely pumped to dive into another XRP video with you today. First off, I hope you're having an amazing day, no matter where you are in this incredible world of ours. Today, we're zeroing in on XRP, and let me tell you, things are looking pretty exciting right now. So here's what we're looking at on the one-day chart. XRP is sitting pretty at $2.51, and wow, it's looking seriously bullish. We're up 4.79% as I'm recording this, which is exactly why I keep telling you guys, never panic sell on those red days. Remember what I always say? On red days, you've got two choices. Either sit tight and do absolutely nothing, or, if you're feeling bold, buy that dip. And this is the perfect example of why that strategy works. The market rebounds just like we're seeing right now. Now, I've been seeing tons of comments saying, "This is it, Rich. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. XRP is about to launch us straight into alt season." And hey, I love the enthusiasm, I really do. But let's pump the brakes just a little bit here. We're not quite in alt season territory yet, folks. Not just yet. But trust me, that alt season is definitely still on its way. And speaking of things heating up, just look at Bitcoin. It's back above $111,000 and up 2% today. Pretty solid, right? Now here's something really interesting that I want you to pay attention to. Have you ever noticed what happens when the market starts bouncing back? XRP almost always seems to outperform both Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's like clockwork, and we've been seeing this pattern play out throughout this entire cycle. And honestly, I think this trend is going to keep going strong. But here's where things get really exciting. Just imagine what's going to happen when those XRP Spot ETFs finally go live. I have a feeling we're going to witness something pretty spectacular. My prediction? We'll likely see a lot of money flowing out of those Bitcoin ETFs and straight into the XRP ETFs when that moment arrives. It could be a real game changer, folks. And like I mentioned earlier, we're definitely not in alt season just yet. If you check out the chart, we're sitting at 27 out of 100 right now. For those of you who might be new here, we don't officially enter alt season territory until we break above that 75 mark. But here's the thing, and I think we can all agree on this. Everybody knows it's coming. It's not a question of if it's going to happen, it's simply a matter of when. The anticipation is absolutely killing me, and I know you guys are feeling it too. So while we're waiting for that magic number to hit, let's just stay patient and keep our eyes on the prize. The pieces are all falling into place. All right. Let me be real with you for a second here. It's time to stop listening to all those Bitcoin gurus out there. Look, I'm not trying to bash Bitcoin, but let's be honest about what we're seeing. Bitcoin's price increases are clearly slowing down over time, and the math just doesn't add up anymore. Think about it. There's basically no significant return on investment left in Bitcoin at these levels. You're probably not even going to see a 2x from where we are right now. Yet every single day, what do we see on mainstream media? They're constantly pushing retail investors toward Bitcoin. It's like they're stuck in 2017. But here's where the real opportunities are hiding. Altcoins. That's where the serious return on investment potential is right now. Now, if XRP isn't your thing, no worries. There are plenty of other solid options to consider. You could look at XLM, HBAR, XDC. QNT is another really strong pick. Don't sleep on IOTA or Algo either. The bottom line is this. That's where the real money-making potential is sitting right now. You're not going to build life-changing wealth by buying a tiny fraction of one Bitcoin. Instead, focus on stacking a decent bag of something with actual growth potential. And this insight actually comes from Stuart Alderati, who really knows what he's talking about when it comes to this stuff. Here's the key point. XRP now has clear regulatory standing right here in the United States. That's huge, guys! And you know what? It's really no surprise that we're seeing companies like Evernorth XRP starting to focus their attention on XRP. I mean, when you've got that regulatory clarity, it opens up so many doors. And hey, I've got to give a massive shout out here. Congrats to Ash, Go Blue, and the absolutely incredible team he's put together. These guys are doing some seriously impressive work, and it's exciting to see what they're building in this space. This is exactly the kind of momentum we love to see in the XRP ecosystem. And here's something really exciting that I'm pumped to share with you all. They've just launched Evernorth XRP, and this is seriously groundbreaking stuff. It's the very first institutional vehicle of its kind, specifically built to supercharge XRP adoption. Think about this for a second. XRP has been running with over a decade of uptime. That's incredible reliability. Plus, it's got this rapidly growing DeFi ecosystem that's just taking off. So XRP is perfectly positioned for massive adoption, and Evernorth is stepping up to meet that exact moment. But wait, it gets even better. Evernorth is planning to go public with over $1 billion in gross proceeds. Let me say that again, over $1 billion. Whew. That's absolutely massive, folks. And what does this mean for us? More XRP adoption. This is exactly the kind of institutional backing and real-world utility we've been waiting to see. It's like watching all the pieces of the puzzle finally come together. And here's what Brad had to say about all this. He said, Ashish and his team are building something truly special with Evernorth XRP. We're incredibly proud to partner with him and equally proud to join this amazing group of investors. And wow, what a lineup they've got. We're talking about SPI Holdings, Pantera Capital, Kraken, GSR, and Rippleworks, all coming together to support Evernorth and help create institutional lending, liquidity provisioning, and DeFi yield opportunities for XRP. Guys, let me tell you something. We're entering a completely new era here. Everything is about to revolve around DeFi. You'll be earning from your crypto, borrowing against your crypto, and here's the crazy part. Pretty soon, you might not even need to sell any of your crypto at all. Right now, I see so many people rushing to cash out into US dollars, and then what happens? They go on a shopping spree and end up right back where they started. Here's a pro tip. If you absolutely must cash out, at least do it into a stablecoin instead. Why? Because stablecoins actually offer yield, something your traditional bank definitely isn't giving you. Plus, let's be honest, the US dollar is constantly losing value anyway. But look at what's happening in the XRP space. Literally every single day, it feels like there's a brand new announcement about yield opportunities for XRP. And this trend is only going to accelerate as more institutions jump into this space. It's absolutely incredible to watch. And Chris Larson had some pretty exciting things to say too. He posted, "Congrats Ash, go Blue, and the entire Evernorth XRP team on today's launch. Evernorth fills that missing link we've been waiting for in XRP capital markets and XRP usage in DeFi products. I'm so confident in this that I'm personally investing 50 million XRP into the firm." Now here's where it gets really interesting. He mentioned that we might see some wallet movement because of this investment. And you know what's hilarious? He actually went ahead and made that transfer, and immediately all these people started freaking out on social media like, "Oh no, look at Chris Larson selling off again. He's dumping on retail investors." But plot twist, this is exactly where that XRP went. It wasn't some random sell-off at all. And here's what really gets me excited about this whole thing. The fact that Chris is putting 50 million of his own XRP into this project tells you everything you need to know. When someone with his track record and insider knowledge is willing to invest that much of his personal stash, you know this is going to be something really special. That's the kind of confidence that speaks volumes, folks. But David Schwartz's announcement was absolutely the most shocking one of all. XRP community, you're not going to believe this. So David had posted earlier saying, "XRP community, I promised I'd have an update on my next adventure soon." And we were all sitting there wondering what he was up to, right? Well, here's the bombshell. He said, "Here's the start. I'll be a strategic advisor to Evernorth XRP, helmed by my friend Ash Go Blue." He went on to explain, Evernorth was founded as a regulated, scalable investment vehicle to tap into opportunities for XRP in DeFi and capital markets, extending the entire XRP ecosystem. I'm excited to get started. Now here's something really important that I want to clarify. David never actually left Ripple completely. He just stepped down from his day-to-day position, but he's still on the board. And now it looks like he's diving headfirst into this project as well. Guys, when you've got someone of David's caliber getting involved as a strategic advisor, that's when you know something big is happening. I honestly think this is going to be an incredibly solid project, and I can't wait to see where this whole thing goes from here. The pieces are really starting to come together. And a lot of people are talking about this as well. So you see, breaking, Trump says China might have to pay 155% tariff if they don't reach a trade deal by November 1st. Then this news just dropped out of nowhere. President Trump is planning to visit China in early 2026 after getting an invitation from Xi Jinping. And you know what happened immediately? People started panicking, saying, "Here we go again." He's trying to crash the markets and just kicking the can down the road to 2026. But here's the crazy part. The market didn't even flinch. It was like the market today just completely shrugged off everything that was happening. Literally everything else that was being said or announced just got ignored. I think there were even new tariffs announced on Colombia or some other country, and the market was like, yeah, whatever, we don't care anymore. And you know what? I think the market has basically gotten used to all this stuff now. It's like, when you hear the same story over and over again, eventually it just doesn't faze you anymore, right? The impact just isn't there like it used to be. We've actually seen this exact pattern play out during this cycle already. Remember when Trump would mention tariffs and the market would immediately dump? Then after a while it just stopped dumping when he talked about tariffs. The market was like, okay, we're over this tariff talk. Then he'd say something else and the market would crash again. But now I'm wondering, is the market already prepared and priced in for whatever comes next? Maybe that's exactly what's happening here. The market is just ahead of the game now. Check this out, the Wyoming Blockchain Stampede Bitcoin Day 2025, and guess who's sponsoring it? Ripple. You can actually see it right there behind Caitlin Long in the background. Now, this is really interesting because people are always saying, well, Ripple hates Bitcoin. Why would Bitcoin maxis even want to hear about Ripple at all? But here's the thing, Ripple actually sponsors a lot of Bitcoin-related events and activities. And you know why this makes perfect sense? It's because Bitcoin and XRP serve completely different purposes. Bitcoin stores value, but XRP moves value. They're actually complementary. Here's something I've said multiple times before. If I was a Bitcoin holder and I wanted to actually buy something with my Bitcoin, I would absolutely run it over to the XRP ledger first. It just makes sense from a speed and cost perspective. But let's be real here. A lot of these Bitcoin purists are just way too prideful to admit that. They want another option that's not connected to Ripple in any way. I get it, but sometimes pride gets in the way of practicality. Every once in a while, though, you get to see moments like this where Ripple actually supports the Bitcoin community. It's pretty cool to see that collaboration happening, even if some people don't want to admit it. Analyst predicts 13,000 XRP rocket surge if this history repeats. So, what they're talking about is the run from back in 2017. And if it was to have that type of a breakout, a 13,000 rally, and if that happens, we could be looking at XRP hitting $327.50. Can you imagine that? $327.50 per XRP. Now that's the kind of number that would absolutely change everything for all of us holding XRP. Just think about what that would mean for your portfolio. The reason I'm showing you all this is because it's absolutely fascinating to watch what happens when XRP turns green again. As soon as we see some upward movement, people immediately get super excited and start throwing around those big numbers again. You've got folks talking about 100 plus XRP again, and then you've got other people going even crazier, discussing XRP potentially hitting prices in the thousands. The enthusiasm just explodes whenever we see green candles. But here's what I'm really focused on. I just want to see what happens with those ETFs. That's going to be the biggest game changer and the most important indicator for where we're headed from here. Those ETF approvals and launches, that's when we'll really know what XRP is capable of. Everything else is just speculation until we see that institutional money start flowing in through those ETFs. That's the moment I'm waiting for. And he's not the only one calling for it. Getting deja vu, XRP about to do 2017 again. And look at this chart here as well. Once again, you can see exactly how we could potentially reach those higher price targets. Now, this projection is a bit more conservative, showing us a range between $195 and $300. Here's the million-dollar question, though. We honestly don't know if XRP is going to pull off another 2017-style run. But man, wouldn't that be absolutely incredible to witness? If that happens, everybody in this entire space would be in complete euphoria. I'm talking about life-changing money for so many people. Now, the reason I don't completely rule this out is because if we look back at 2017, people were saying the exact same things about XRP back then. They were like, it's never going to hit $1. You'd be lucky if it even gets to 25 cents in this run. And then what happened? XRP pulled off the biggest shocker in crypto history. So will lightning strike twice? Nobody really knows for sure, and I'm not going to sit here and promise you anything. But here's what's different this time around, and this is huge. Institutional money is about to pour into this space like we've never seen before. That's a completely different game than what we had in 2017. We're talking about serious, professional money coming in through ETFs and institutional vehicles. That could change everything.
But you know what? It's really nice to finally see XRP having a solid green day today. So many people have been patiently waiting for this moment, and I know the anticipation has been killing everyone. It honestly felt like XRP was just stuck forever in that sideways movement we've been watching. Have you ever noticed how XRP can just go sideways for what feels like an eternity? It's like watching paint dry sometimes. You're sitting there thinking, come on, just pick a direction already. But that's exactly what makes days like today so satisfying. After all that sideways action, when XRP finally decides to move up, it feels that much better. Long periods of time. But here's what's really interesting. XRP actually has this gradual upward movement happening, but it's so subtle that most people don't even notice it. Have you ever paid attention to this pattern with XRP? It's constantly hitting higher lows, then even higher lows on the way up, creating this steady upward trend. But all people focus on is, we're still under $3. They're missing the bigger picture. But let me tell you something. We are going way beyond $3 in this run, and I truly believe it's about to happen. I'm talking weeks, not months. I really think we're only a few weeks away from something spectacular. Here's what I think is going to be the perfect storm. The government reopening, those ETFs finally going live, and then this entire market is going to go fully parabolic, especially XRP. It's all lining up perfectly. But until that moment arrives, here's what I need from all of you. Stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. We've come this far, and we're so close to the finish line. All right, everyone, that's where I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching and being part of this incredible community. I genuinely appreciate all of you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, keep stacking and keep believing. Tapa.